Tastes awesome. Maybe. Hey guys, welcome on back to another fantastic episode of Cooking with Colby. Today is the day before that big game that you know. Can't wait to score a goal, pitch, a touched foot. Game on. Today we're gonna be making some beautiful food today. We're starting with some game day classics. We're talking pizza, wings, and some soda. It's gonna be delicious stuff. Starting with a classic. This is a bit of a secret recipe. This is a bit of a, don't tell everybody, just between us. We're making some Sam style pizza. Now, Sam style pizza is pretty simple. You start with a regular take and bake pizza. I recommend Winco because it's close to where I live. And we're gonna be adding our own pepperoni and mozzarella. Just a little bit more to take the pizza from the little bit that it is and really spice it up Sam style, which is with a few layers. So let's get started. First thing you're gonna need is a couple of knives. Now, the knives are gonna be pretty important just for cutting open the plastic right here. Once you get that done, you won't need the knives anymore. Remember, when you're dirtying dishes like knives, never try and reuse the same one. Just do a little bit. You see how that's just a tiny bit dirtied right there? That's plenty. Let's throw it in the dishwasher and make sure to fill up that dishwasher before you go on vacation so that your roommates have to be the ones to run it or clean it and those things like that. A little life hack for you there. Getting started with the pizza here. Get rid of the plastic. You're not actually supposed to eat that. Learn that one the hard way. Let's get the ingredients rolling. We're gonna need a little bit of pepperoni here. We only got like a pound or so. We're going a little bit light because we want everybody else to be able to eat this. If you have any lactose intolerant friends, this is gonna be a great meal to just really get them out of your life. Lots of mozzarella is gonna be important. What we're gonna start with is just another layer of pepperoni. Wow, look at that. A ton of progress already. Remember, we're taking our regular Winco pizza and trying to improve the quality. Now I know, how is it possible to improve a quality of like a $10.99 pizza? Isn't that the peak of human innovation? And surely they didn't skimp out on any of the pepperoni or toppings when making it, right? Well, you'd be surprised. Big pizza has a bit of a stranglehold on the smaller guys, and it's difficult to get something nice. So we're gonna finish covering this up just completely with pepperoni. There we go. Look at that. Already, this is kind of an extra most bestest style. It's going to be delicious. And let's get some cheese in there as well. Once you get the whole thing kind of covered in cheese here, the cheese is going to help retain the integrity and structural molecularity of the pizza here. It's important to have a decent understanding of physics, especially when it comes to civil engineering physics for this sort of construction here. It's got to be load bearing, and it has to have an equal ratio of pizza, cheese, dairy, all that goodness to the pepperoni. Otherwise, it's simply not going to work. It's going to collapse and no one will like you. Now, this looks pretty good, but Sam style means taking it up another notch. Let's add some more pepperoni. We're not short on time. There we go, another layer done. As you can see, not quite as even and perfect as the previous ones. That's because you want to make sure that you're prepped for time when it comes for this type of thing. It's a long artistic process. You really got to breathe in the flavors of the meat and the sausage, whatever other miscellaneous animal meat has been stuffed into kind of a sausage patty and then sliced up into little deli chunks here. Don't Google how it's made. Let's do a little bit more cheese. You really want to give it just enough to kind of cover the whole thing. You want to really just, the cheese is one of the more important parts. And when we're done, we're going to be adding a little more pepperoni. Like not a ton, but just enough to kind of cover the rest of the thing in pepperoni. This is coming together great already. You notice you're getting these big, thick slices. Now that's going to taste like miscellaneous animal meat. Don't forget to preheat the oven before the process. Now I've already got mine going over here at about 375, which is going to be great. And now that we've got the pepperoni on here, it's time to put in the oven. Or is it? I got you there. We're actually going to be adding a little more cheese because of the structural integrity that we mentioned earlier. You notice we've added about maybe an inch here. Pizza-wise, we want to improve that. Let's head over to the fridge. A little more cheese goes a long way. And boy, do I have a little more cheese. After we slit the cheese bag's throat, you're gonna wanna get like a decent handful and just gently add that on top. Now I know that sometimes the yellow cheese here, formerly known as cheddar, is not always the best cheese to add on pizza, but we're out of mozzarella, so you just gotta do what you gotta do. Now I do need some of this cheese for nachos later after I get sick of the pizza that I'm gonna be eating for what appears to be the next week, judging by the height. Looking at that, we've added a fair amount here, maybe a couple inches to the height overall, and it's looking just spectacular. This is Sam's Style Game Day Pizza that's sure to make your winning team of that sport that you all enjoy and that we all know, like I know what sport. It's gonna be great. Look at them. Go team, go teams. The team's gonna win. Now, let's move this to the oven. This is gonna be a bit of a tricky process, so we're gonna go nice and slow, keep those knees bent, good stance. If you have a harness for like a lift or something to help you maneuver the weight of the pizza, that's gonna be a good call to put that on right now. I don't actually have any hot pads, but we do need to move some things. So grab a towel that you don't really care about. Just be kind of quick about it. Ow, ow, and there we go. So it's perfectly ready to go. Now, back to the pizza. We're gonna carefully go underneath here, grab it by the cardboard on the bottom, and slowly transport it. Keep those knees bent, good stance, everybody. This is where that karate yellow belt horse stance lesson comes into play. Nice and easy on there. Just delicious, oh my goodness. And you just try not to touch anything. Perfect, just like that. We're gonna leave the pizza there. We've got the oven going at 375, 350, 375 is a good way to keep it. You're gonna get a little bit of smoke from the cheese, but we'll just leave it there and help it get prepped. Now, we might be done with the pizza for a little bit, but it's time to move on to some wings. Let's get started. Well, although the buffalo, the one that grows naturally with wings, has since gone extinct and we don't have any more, you can still get some delicious wings from just your regular store, even though they may not be freshly harvested from the natural buffalo. Rest in peace. They're still gonna taste excellent. Let's grab we're gonna get a pan and we're gonna cover that in some tin foil, get it prepped for cooking. Now, while tin foil is a bit of a rare resource, it's important to get as much as you can. Remember, if you can get it so that you don't see the dish anymore, you're in a good position. Technically, according to science, it won't get dirty, which means you don't have to clean it. There we go. That's looking great already. We've got a ton of tin foil covering the dish completely. Time to add some wings. Now, these wings are a bit of these crispy wings here. You can get the soggy kind if you want, but you want the crispy style wings that are really gonna bring a bit of zest and power and energy, especially to those game day hungry people. Now, that's it? What is a buffalo wing? While nobody truly understands where the wing part of the buffalo comes from, we as humans have decided to just kind of not really worry about it and enjoy them no matter what. So let's put those thoughts out of our head and get back to the big game. Whatever that one is, can't wait for Now, let's get some of the sauce prepared before we get the wings in the oven because there's a pizza in the oven and you can't fit the wings in there. So we're doing the sauce first. A bowl. You're gonna wanna go for kind of the wettest water that you can. The more wet the water is, the water wetness and that'll make the sauce tasty or something. Moving to the microwave, get the water going for just about as long as you can. You want maximum microwave time. I noticed that occasionally the microwave water will pop a little bit, creating what's called a small thermoconductive explosion of water as we heat it up to the point of gas while not allowing enough pressure to escape. Now, that is gonna be when you know that the water is done. We're just gonna leave that running for a little bit and get that ready to go. Once the water's warmed up, we're gonna drop this in there and it's gonna just help that sauce be ready to go. Let's move over to the oven and try and cram these into there real quick. Look at the pizza right there, looking gorgeous already. You can see how the cheese is melting, and that is what cheese is supposed to do. Now, we don't quite have enough room to fit the wings in there, but you also might not have enough room. Just go fast. There we go. We'll just toss those wings into the oven, 375 as well, and we'll come back to that frickin' later. Let's go check on the water and get our sauce prepped as well. A good way to test if the water is warm enough is just to stick your finger in, make sure it's ready to go. If it's set, then you're good and it's nice and warm. We'll just add the sauce in there a little bit, and it'll nice and warm up the sauce, which has been in the freezer. The coagulation there will decrease, helping emphasize the taste enzymes, which will bring back exactly that game day flavor we can't wait to enjoy. Now, are we done with our preparations? Almost, but not quite yet. When it comes to the game day, there's one thing you can't forget, and that's the drinks. Let's head over to the pantry. Here at the pantry, we're gonna be getting some plates, a few Solo cups, of course not actually Solo brand because heaven knows we can't afford those, and of course everyone's favorite, Baja Blast. Any other soda is unfortunately considered a cardinal sin by the Catholic Church, so make sure you're only going for Baja. You can go zero sugar if you need to, but we got both of them just in case. And let's not forget the real stuff. Now there's soda for the kids, sure, but what about the adults? I know what you're thinking. Come home from a long day of work, you want to finally relax with a nice can of Monster Energy drink. Now I have acquired several cans of the drink just in case. This normally only lasts me about a few days, but if you get enough of these going, then there you go. Plenty of Monster Energy drink is really going to help the whole environment have a ton of fun and make sure everybody's having a great time. If you spill a few and they explode on the floor, don't worry. You can, someone will fix that in a minute. Now to shotgun these is a little bit of a complicated process. You're going to do a lot of pressure on your thumb on one point while at the same time cracking open the top. The last time I did this, I almost lost my... The problem being when you press your thumb in, if you don't do it right, you can get these sharp aluminum edges which can slice up your thumb and be a bit of a hazard. People, we want to be safe at home, especially when prepping for a party. What you want to do is just get another knife so you can stab that in there, and that's really going to help you just get the energy in there without kind of hurting yourself. So don't do this at home, but if you are going to do it at home, do it the right way, the safe way, with another weapon and a few people watching and nobody with 911 on speed dial. All right, let's get started. Oh, that was great stuff, guys. It really just brings that game day spirit, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen on the big game. Let's check back on the food and see how we're looking with that. Wow, look at that pizza. You notice this thick smoke that may have just billowed out right there? That's completely normal. That's just the oven getting accustomed to enjoying this type of delectable treat. As the cheese melts right there, it's coming in good. We're gonna go in and check to see if the bottom of the pizza is cooked. Now, the way you do this is a little bit dangerous. Now, we're gonna move over and just reach our hand in very carefully in between the hot oven bits and try and feel the crust real quick. Don't. Okay. All right, that looks great. So, with that now, hopefully everything will be fine as the pizza continues to cook. The crust is feeling nice and firm, a little bit toasted, and I think we're really gonna enjoy that pizza as it wraps up. Now, any final preparations you need for game day, making some friends is a good call. Make sure you've got a few different cans of Monster so that you can pregame and the audience and friends can still enjoy some of the delectable treats we've got laid out here for today. Also, getting a few different flavors of Monster is really going to be important. You want to get just kind of as many as you can so that people have a few options. And as you're juggling the responsibility of preparing the food and working with people, it's going to be okay. Speaking of juggling, don't forget to juggle yourself over to the subscribe button, which is going to be just fine. A collection of good flavors is going to help. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's hold off for a second. We're going to check back in on that pizza just as soon as it's done cooking. We'll be right back on this episode of Game Day Cooking with Colby. All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a few minutes. Let's check on that pizza and see how it's doing. Now, hopefully it's not too burned. You're getting a little bit of the smoke right there coming out. I heard the fire alarm beep a little bit. Shut up! Oh my gosh, you're filming!
Oh, sorry.
All right, guys, we got the pizza going and it's looking great. Let's go ahead and get that out of there and get prepped for game day. Now, you're gonna want something to take the pizza out. We'll just set it up here and get it prepped and ready to go. Don't worry about using plastic on the hot metal down there. It might melt a little bit, but that will actually just add flavor, kind of how a Dutch oven needs to be seasoned. Same thing works in a regular oven. It's totally normal. And just, it's gonna be kind of a lot of pizza. Just really try not to drip any of the, ow, ow! Oh, I touched the, you're just gonna, go, 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 go. There we go. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. We've got the pizza out and ready to go. We'll just leave that there. Moving on to what's next, we're gonna slice up a piece and just see how it really came out. Now, we've got a small knife that we're gonna use just to get everything out of there. It's nice and gentle. Really go for the center slice. Oh my gosh, look at that. Sam style pizza, just delicious. Extra layers of cheese, pepperoni. If I check real quick, the middle is in fact lukewarm, meaning some temperature may have gotten there and actually cooked the pizza, which is just great news. Back over here at the kitchen, it's time for a taste test. So we're gonna get some space get going here so we can really get in there. We'll try a little bite first. You could definitely taste the cheese and the pepperoni, because that's most of what this is. But I think it needs a little something else. No pizza is complete without a little bit of ranch. I know it's a little millennial of me, but it's gonna taste great, and I think this will just really add that last little bit of zestiness for the ranch, of course, to our pizza. So grab your favorite knife and let's get going. All right, guys, we've got our pizza with a little bit of ranch on there. Let's get in and have a bit of a taste, if you could still find the pizza. That's so much ranch. That tastes great, guys. Really what I was hoping for. Tastes awesome. A lot of is maybe a little bit much on the ranch, but that's just gonna be. Thanks for tuning back in to Cooking with Colby Game Day Edition. Hopefully you enjoy the episode. Reach out in the comments if you've got suggestions of some meals we might be able to prep next, and I'll see you in the next episode. The wings!